Welcome to Integrative Life Coach Training for Health and Wellness Practitioners, the only podcast that can help you help more people, create a greater impact, and make more money in the health and wellness industry. Join Clarity and Confidence Coach Kim Guillory as she teaches you how to integrate your passion to serve with your skills and experience to create a business you love. Let's get started.
Hello. How are you guys? I want to thank you all for sticking with me. This is episode 20. So fun. So today I want to continue on the same journey that we were talking about. Remember, we're starting with the presence and unveil, and now we're navigating. And today I want to give you some tangible things to do as you navigate. So this is probably what you've been wanting to hear. I know my son told me he's been listening to the podcast, and I've sent him to a few other master teachers, I'll call them. And I think he was listening to Bruce Lipton's or Joe Dispenza's, and he was like, all right, so they're saying the same thing, but they're not telling me how. No one's telling me how. And I was like, well, that's what we're going to do in the podcast. And you should be getting some of those takeaways now. But now I realize it is like you guys are getting it and you are taking away. It's just like we're so used to going on the A line. We're so used to taking action, and it's like we want to know something tangible outside of ourselves, outside of our head. Tell me A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, like exactly what do I need to do? But I want to tell you, it doesn't work that way. First of all, even like if you're in business and you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to create things, as a coach or a wellness leader, according to someone else's plan, it may not be flowing as easily for you. And the reason for that is because that's their zone of genius. And we want to do through this work is we want to get you to your zone of genius. And what that's going to take is uncovering what's not you and discovering what is you. So that's this part of the process. We've done the unlayering, we've done the unveiling, the dismantling, the uncovering. Now we're doing the interruptions. And just so you know, here's like that little shadow dancing. It plays in between those two steps. So we're constantly seeing, navigating, shifting. Oops, let's release. Oop, let's go back. Oh, let's see it again. Let me investigate what's happening here. So is this constantly going in and out? And here's the thing. It really boils down to Louise Hayes, one of my most loved teachers. I'm going to talk a lot about her here today. And she explains how our beliefs and ideas about ourselves are often the cause of our emotional problems and our physical conditions, and how by using certain tools, we can change our thinking and our lives for the better. And so it keeps coming back to all of these master teachers saying the same thing. We're just using different languaging. And what I'm saying here is not any different than that. It's just maybe this time and space where you needed to hear it in the way that I was saying. We kind of weave in and out of these beliefs, in the judgment, in the comparison of like wanting to go into the A line, wanting it to be tangible, wanting to know exactly what to do, and then wanting to experience. And then wanting to go out there, and then wanting to come back here. So it's just playing that edge. But I'm going to talk to you about a few rules of the mind today and how our thinking affects so much about us. And we have to uncover the reason that we think the things. Now, I don't mean we have to go back into the whole entire story and relive it or anything like that. But we have to understand why we created it so we can do it differently. So here's a couple of the beliefs. I'm not enough. I don't belong. I'm rejected. What I need is not available for me. So think back to times where maybe you thought these thoughts. Because, the mind thinks that it does what it thinks you want. The mind does what it thinks you want. And that's always going to come back to safety. It responds to words and pictures in your mind, like the things that you imagine. That's your perception, the way you see things. And it always wants things to be familiar. Wants it to stay the same. Wants to be comfortable. Because it's doing everything to keep you alive. And so many of us have been trained for scarcity, this instilled fear that there's not going to be enough, that it's not going to be available, that we need to act a certain way so that we're not rejected. Like we have to be careful that we don't turn people off, and so there's this fear. It's not going to be there for me. I'm not going to belong. I don't have what I need. And we just keep replaying this over and over. And for some of us, it's led to depression. And depression is just not fulfilling our heart's desire. And then it's words that we tell ourselves that we're not worthless, that we're unlovable, that what we need isn't available. Like we keep repeating that. And so what's happening is it's a disconnect from safety, from divine source. Same thing with addiction. It's the lack of connection, looking to fill the void, looking to not feel uncomfortable. We fill the gap so that we can feel comfortable. So it's all leads back to the same thing, which is we as humans really want to feel safe. We want to feel like we belong, want to feel like we're wanted. And so what are the things that we can do to navigate around these old neural pathways, these old stinking thinking, this old way of feeling? And that's what I'm going to give you here today. The mental and emotional roots, they do dissolve as we start doing this work and as we start discovering the greatness that's within ourselves. We can resolve the reasons that illness and disease and disconnection even happens. So I want to take a moment just to mention who Louise Hay is. So she is a teacher from years and years and years ago. She wrote several books. She is the creator of Hay House. I found her work probably 20 years ago. It was about the time where I had all of these physical manifestations. I had a lot of surgeries. I think I've a total of 14 times I've been put to sleep. And it was around the time of my tonsils, I think, when I had the tonsils out. So my first surgery started back with gallbladder. Then I had several female surgeries, and then I had like 6 foot surgeries. But I think it was when I was doing this work, I was doing a lot of spiritual reading, a lot of self-discovery, personal improvement stuff on my own. And I came across something with Louise Hay, and I connected the tonsils to what I had been journaling about, to what was going on in my life. And I was blown away when I was able to connect all of the things that had happened in my body to the things that had happened in my life. Guys, not kidding you. Blown away. I was able to go back into my journals. I connected the dots, and then I started getting all of this massive connections. And it's like the veil was literally removed, like as if it was bright outside and you just opened the curtain and the lights came on. And from then on, I was hooked solid in this work. And I just studied and studied and studied until I knew it inside and out. And I was like, when I wrote my book, the day I wrote The Punchline Approach, and I was sitting down to write, I was kind of like, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. What am I going to do? And I stopped and I opened Facebook, of course, right? Because that's where we buffer. That's what we go to do when we don't know what to do. I didn't want to feel uncomfortable. And as soon as I opened it up, I saw that Louise Hay had passed. And I was just like, no, I was so sad. And then he was like, you know what? I dedicate this work to her because she was my teacher. She was my motivation and inspiration. And I wanted to honor all of that work that she did way back when it was not accepted. As hard as it is for me to come forward and say some of the things that I have learned along the way that's not familiar in the area that I live, as hard as that was, I can't even imagine this woman, what she went through. Her life, she had so much trauma, and she overcame, and she just spent the rest of her life helping people. Such an honor to have her as my mentor and teacher. She was the owner of affirmations. She was all about transforming and turning those stories around, that what we do need is available, and that we do belong, and that we are enough. That was her work. So I want to use some of the time here to read. This is a portion from one of her books. She says, "You were born extremely confident. You were so perfect when you were a tiny baby. You didn't have to do anything. You were already perfect. And you acted as if you were aware of that. You knew you were the center of the universe. You weren't afraid to ask for what you wanted. You freely expressed your emotions. Your mother knew when you were angry. In fact, the entire neighborhood knew it. And when you were happy, your smile lit up the whole room. You were so full of love and confidence. Little babies will die if they don't get love. Once we're older, we learn to live without love. But no baby will stand for that. Babies also love every inch of their bodies, even their own feces. They have no guilt, no shame, no comparisons. They know they're unique and wonderful. You were like that. Then somewhere during your childhood, your well-meaning parents passed on their own insecure feelings and taught you feelings of inadequacy and fear. At that point, you began to deny your own magnificence. These thoughts and feelings were never true, and they certainly aren't true now. So beautiful. And here are some of the affirmations on self-esteem. I am totally adequate for all situations. I choose to feel good about myself. I am worthy of my own love. I stand on my own 2 feet. It is safe for me to speak up for myself. It does not matter what other people say or do. What matters is how I choose to react and what I choose to believe about myself. I took a deep breath and allow myself to relax. My entire body calms down. I am loved and accepted exactly as I am, right here and right now. I see the world through eyes of love and acceptance. All is well in my world. My self-esteem is high because I honor who I am. I willingly release any need for struggle or suffering. I deserve all that is good. My life gets more fabulous every day. I look forward to what each new hour brings. I am neither too little nor too much, and I do not have to prove myself to anyone. Today, no person, place, or thing can irritate or annoy me. I choose to be at peace. For every problem that I may create, I am confident that I can find a solution. Life supports me in every possible way. My consciousness is filled with healthy, positive, loving thoughts that reflect themselves in my experience. I move through life and know that I am safe, divinely protected and guided. I accept others as they are, and they in turn accept me. I am wonderful and I feel great. I am grateful for my life. I choose to enjoy it. I have the self-esteem, power, and confidence to move forward in life with ease. The greatest gift I can give myself is unconditional love. I love myself exactly as I am. I no longer wait to be perfect in order to love myself. And this comes from the book, I Can Do It, How to Use Affirmations to Change Your Life by Louise Hay, 2004. This woman I will always be in gratitude to. This work that she has given the platform and the opportunity for us to have these master teachers. Never, never, never will I not be grateful for what she has left behind and what is still going today. Like I'm thinking about going to see Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton and, just so many teachers, Elizabeth Gilbert that's, been through Hay House that teach at the summits and just so much. I just, would like to leave just a tiny little portion of what this woman has left out there in the world. So those are affirmations that you can use. You can maybe record them in your phone, listen to yourself say them. Want to do hypnotherapy or you want to do a session with someone. I have coaches who are trained who can do that with you and who can record these affirmations for you, and you listen to them for 21 to 28 days, and they'll actually, create them in a way that they're specific for your needs. It's so important that we uncover what is not you so that we can discover what is you. These affirmations are a reflection of what is you. This is who you are, a divine creation, a divine being, a reflection of love. You are love. And doing this work, releasing what's not, becoming what is, using these affirmations as interruptions to navigate, to change the neural pathway, the undoing, the unbecoming, the unraveling, the willingness to fall apart, the willingness to not continue to be what was, what's not serving you. Because once you start this unraveling, undoing, unbecoming, then there you are. There you are. That's part of you. That's where the ease and the essence just flows so freely. You know, another thing that you can do if you're finding yourself a little stuck is tapping. So you can look up emotional freedom technique. You can find this on YouTube. Maybe we can put a link in the show notes. And, you know, you're just tapping in these certain energy points of the body and you're using these affirmations. You know what, guys, I want to invite you to the Integrative Life Facebook group because we do this stuff on video. This is a platform where I can actually do this and process this with you in person, like where you can actually see. But you're tapping and you're stating what is happening. Like, I am feeling so much anger, so much hate, so much rage. I love and accept myself anyway. I am feeling rage ooze through my body. I love and accept myself anyway. And you're just going to all of these energy points, all of over your body. And you're just tapping and talking and tapping and talking and tapping and talking. That is the unveiling process. That is the dismantling. That is the release, that emotional release, so that after you run through the whole body a few times and you check the number, like when you first start, the pain might have been a 10, then maybe it's a 6. Then when you get it down to a 2 or a 0, then you continue to tap, but you bring in these positive affirmations and you repeat to yourself, like, I am a divine being. I am reflection of Creator. I am, and I always will be worthy. I am valuable. I am loved. What I need is available for me. I do belong. I am enough. And those become the new words and pictures of your mind. And that is what becomes familiar. And that is what you continue to do. And then it retrains the mind, the brain, and you reinvent yourself as this worthy being instead of the old way, the scarcity and the fear and the doubt and the wanting to hide and being afraid to be judged, or just that human suffering. You're still going to suffer because this is a lifelong process, right? It's like, the thing is, it's an act of staying in your lane, staying on track, and continue these first 3 steps. You're just going to repeat over and over and over every single day. So I have a downloaded worksheet I loaded last week that you can go to. They'll put it in the show notes and you can link to that. And I'll tell you what it is so you'll be familiar whenever you open it up. I'll read the exact worksheet to you. You always attack yourself first. Attack thoughts until the belief that you are vulnerable. Their effect is to weaken you in your own eyes. And these are your thoughts, you yourself, those thoughts, those pictures. They attack your perception of yourself. And because you believe them, you can no longer believe in yourself. A false image of yourself has come to take the place of what you are. Now here's the work. To understand that vulnerability or invulnerability is the result of your thoughts. Nothing except your thoughts can attack you. Nothing except your thoughts can make you think you are vulnerable. Nothing except your thoughts can prove to you this is not so. And so when I say vulnerable, I'm talking about that safety. We all want to feel safe, and we're so afraid to feel vulnerable, to feel naked, to be seen. And here's where the mind has the conflicting beliefs, because we're like, please see me, please notice me, please tell me I'm worthy, please love me. So you have that side of you, and then you have the other side that says, I'm not worth it, no, I can't, and that's not available for me, and I don't belong. And so that is what's happening in your mind. And there's this cognitive dissonance between the two. And what we want to do is we want to create this bridge so that you can go over to the other side. And then we can start to release the ones that are not true. So in this particular exercise, the worksheet you're going to pull up, you fill in the blank. I am concerned about blank, blank, blank. So what is it that you're worried about? The second part, I am afraid blank, blank, blank will happen. So I am concerned about and I am afraid blank will happen. And once you are present to that awareness, use this interruption to navigate. That thought is an attack upon myself. I am safe. This concern is coming from a thought. I am not that thought. So that's the interruption. That's not me. I'm not that worried little girl. I'm not 4 years old. I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm 30. I'm powerful. I'm beautiful. Whatever your interruption is, whatever works for you. And then I want to discuss this. So print it up, fill it out for yourself. I'll give you an example and come on over to the Integrative Life Facebook group. I would love to show you some of this tapping in person. We do some live videos there and we have some trainings going on. We're reframing beliefs right now. So that's a program that's happening and you can do it live or you can catch the recording. So here's an example of this particular worksheet. I am concerned about my image. I am afraid if the world sees me for who I am, I will be rejected and abandoned, meaning I will be alone. And then here's the interruption. This is an attack on myself. I am safe. The concern is coming from a thought that creates a fearful feeling. I am not that thought. I am rejecting my true self when I think this. I am the one who leaves me. And so it's just an awareness of realizing that the thoughts are what is creating the suffering. And you remember the two reasons I believe everyone suffers is judgment and comparison. And that's even on ourself. It's judging and comparing what we see others have and we don't, or what we see is happening to us and think that it shouldn't. We compare to marriages, to other people's children, to other people's parents, to our money to their money, our job to their job. Our business is not as big as their business. Their clients are better. Their patients are recovering. Ours are not. Whatever it is, that's this constant judgment and comparison. Not available for me. I'm not good enough, right? Just over and over and over and just always having to prove it. But the problem is the brain's not allowing it. That old neural pathway is not allowing it. And so you just kind of get stuck in that rut right in the middle. So when you feel yourself caught in that, then you can try some tapping, you can try some affirmation, you can do some interrupting, you can ask for support. Another thing that's really helpful is moving your body. Any type of fitness, running, strength training, CrossFit, yoga, something, riding a bike. But when you move your body, that energy moves through you, especially if you're doing something that's getting you out of your head. So whenever I do the walk run, what I do is count my steps. And so that becomes a meditation within itself. So I'll count like to 25 and then I'll walk. Then I'll count to 25, then I'll run. Then I count to 25, then I walk. And then I might do that up to 50 or maybe to 100. This is a great way to start running and kind of set yourself a goal. Like I'm going to run my first 5K and it starts with the first 25 steps. And you just kind of do it over and over and over. It's crazy how helpful this is to get you out of your mind and into your body. The human experience is all about growing, evolving, freely expressing, and it's a lifetime. It's a lifetime of work. So like when you notice that you're feeling a little depressed or you're feeling a little lost or you're not, it's like you're not feeling like real joyful or things are like not feeling good in your body. Maybe you have chronic pain. Maybe you have illness and disease. These are indicators. And you don't want to turn this off. You don't want to take a pill. You don't want to have a surgery and make it go away. You want to find out what your body is trying to tell you. Get present. Become aware of these things. Start to notice. Use this process. Use these techniques, guys. They work. I promise you they work. Maybe grab on one of Louise Hay's books. The other one is called You Can Heal Your Life. This was the first one that I read. And here's a couple of things from what Louise says in this book. She's like, what a few considers to be right thoughts and beliefs are, life is really very simple. What we give out, we get back. We are each responsible for our own experiences. Whatever we believe becomes true for us. Awareness is the first step in healing or changing. Every thought we think is creating our future. The point of power is the present moment. Everyone suffers from self-hatred and guilt. The bottom line for everyone is, I'm not good enough. We created every so-called illness in our body, and our body, just like everything else in life, is a mirror of our inner thoughts and beliefs. No matter what you think about something, it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. The only thing we ever have any control of is our current thought. We must release the past and forgive everyone. What we put our attention on grows. Self-approval and self-acceptance in the now are the keys to positive changes. When we really love ourselves, everything in our lives work. So good. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole and complete. And yet life is ever changing. There is no beginning and no end. Only a constant cycling and recycling of substance and experience. Life is never stuck or static or still, for each moment is ever new and fresh. I am one with the very power that created me, and this power has given me the power to create my own circumstances. I rejoice in the knowledge that I have the power and my own mind to use in any way I choose. Every moment of life is a new beginning point, as we move from the old. This moment is a new point of beginning for me right here, right now. All is well in my world. Ta-da! That, my friends, is from my fabulous teacher. I love this woman. I'm telling you, the book came through so easily after I said that prayer, and I typed that up, and then I just got started, and it was just like so much of her and her teachings came through me. So you probably hear a lot of the similarity in how I teach and in what she taught me. And it just poured through me in that book. That's, what I call is just a divine download, because it's universal law. It's universal truth. It's not that anyone is the owner of it. She, in her own life, used this and she shared it with others, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And that is also what I'm doing. It's something that was super powerful in my own life. I wanted to share it with others. And what I'm most passionate about is creating more leaders to guide the way for more people. And that is why I am on this mission. And that is why I have this podcast. And that is why I do what I do and why I'm traveling the world and meeting people. And, I think it's so coincidental the way the universe and God work back with us is, I'm going back to California. I went last year and I met some incredible people, and a couple of them have become, coaches in my program. And since then, I have a few more. So I had like 3 more that reached out to me from California. And I don't know, it's just like, is this just coincidental? Why are these people coming and how are they finding me? And then guess where I'm going, right? By the time you get this, I'll have come back. But I've got like several areas in California that I'm going. It's like, it's back again. And I know this, when I got on the coast there and when I inhaled, my lungs had never taken in such a gorgeous inhale in my entire life. It is like there was something there that just nourished every cell of my body. So who knows? Who knows? I just want to stay open to the experience. I want to have fun with it, and I don't want to miss anything anymore. This is how I feel about it. Everything from here on out is lang nyap. So that's a French word, lang nyap. It's like just bonus. It's extra. As far as I'm concerned, I'm lucky to experience anything that I do at this point. I've gotten another chance at life. I have experienced death. I have experienced hell. I've experienced losing it all, unveiling this whole uncovering, unbecoming process. I've experienced all of that. And I just feel so grateful for everyone who has done this work before me that helped me get to this place. And I hope to share that with you. Have a great week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Integrative Life Coach Training for Health and Wellness Practitioners. If you're feeling stuck on your journey to mind-body integration, head over to kimguillory.com to download your Stability First meditation today.